This is K1 DBC. All police stations please stand by while the repeaters are placed into net, or excuse me, all stations please stand by. The DRC Learning Net will start in 5 minutes. This is K1 DBC.
W0CRA repeater. This isn't my phone.
This is K1 DBC. The DRC Learning Net will start in 1 minute. All stations please stand by while the repeaters are placed into net mode.
PL off. This is a directed net. We leave on the frequency every Wednesday at 1930. That's our radio station. Talks about care, discuss emergency communications, and other emergency-related topics. You can join us each week in our efforts to be a service to one another. Also, suspend this net for emergencies, for priority heard for announcements. Here's one for you. You can be a net control operator and want to give it a shot. Want to sharpen your traffic handling skills. Want to give running the net a try, you can contact anyone in the net control team. We have weekly slots scheduled throughout the month. So any particular week clear for you would probably work something
Good
out.
evening. This is Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie. My name is Daron. I am Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Net Learning Net tonight. I hope all is well with everyone. This is a directed net for the purpose of connecting amateurs seeking help or advice with Elmers willing to mentor. This net meets every Wednesday except the third Wednesday of the month at 19:30 hours, 7:30 p.m. local Mountain Time on W0TX repeaters with frequencies 145.490, which is linked with 448.625. Both have a negative offset and a tone of 100. This net can be broken at any time for emergency or priority traffic by using the word break. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? By net control, please use your call sign. Everyone is welcome. This is an on-air meeting for amateurs seeking help and Elmers giving their time to mentor. If you have any questions for the Learning Net and don't yet have your license or otherwise wish to contact the Learning Net, you may do so via email at drclearningnet@gmail.com. Again, that is drclearningnet@gmail.com. You can also find us on our public mailing list at groups.io/g/ham learningnet, and as well as on Google Hangouts, Google Meet. If you're on the Ham Learning Net, Groups.io, you can find the link on there. I'm also going to be, or starting to stream to YouTube, and I'll put a link in the chat here. But this will be the inaugural one, the test one, so we'll see how it goes, and we may move it over to that. Well, it's not going to work because I was muted. At this moment, we'll begin by inviting Elmers only to check in with or without traffic. All Elmers, please check in now.
Alpha 0, Juliet Kilo. AA 0, JK, Fred in Armada. With traffic.
I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following Elmers. AA0JK, Fred with traffic. Thank you so much for checking in, as always. All right, anyone else who'd like to check in as an Elmer, please call now. Okay, all other check-ins to the net will be taken in alphabetical groups based on the first letter of the suffix of the operator's call sign. Please use ITU phonetics as you check in and indicate if you have traffic or question for our Elmers as you do. If your suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now.
Kilo 0, Echo Hotel Romeo, Martin Littleton with traffic. Kilo 0, Lima Alpha India, K0 LEI, Larry Lakewood. Kilo 6 Hotel Juliet Victor, K6H JV Tom Arvin, no traffic. Kilo 0, Kilo Papa Sierra, Kevin Lakewood, no traffic. Delta Oscar Kilo. Routes in Arvada, no traffic.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Alpha Foxtrot Quebec. Troy in Denver, no traffic.
All right, we'll hold up there for just a moment. All right, Net Control would like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. KE0EHR Mark with traffic, K0LAI Larry, K6HJV Tom, and then I thought I had AD0GX Kevin, but it sounds like you got a new call sign there. I'll have to clarify what that was once more here. And then we had WD6DOK Rich and KF0AFQ Troy. So let me just start with Kevin. Go ahead and repeat that call sign once more.
K0 K Papa Sierra. Kilo Papa Sierra.
All right, perfect. Got you that time. Kilo, 0, Kilo, Papa Sierra, Kevin. All right, if there's anyone else who did check in there and I missed your call sign, go ahead and call once more, please. Alpha through Mike, please call now.
In this video, I'll show you how to...
Okay, we'll go ahead and open it up once more for the same part of the alphabet there. If your suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, and you'd like to check into the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net, please call now. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to the second part of the alphabet here. This is K1DBC. If your suffix begins with the letters N through Z, November through Zulu, please check in now. Through Zulu, please check in now.
WD0 CIV, no
Through
traffic.
Zulu, please check in now.
Kilo 0 Yankee Echo Sierra, Janet Brookfield.
Through Zulu, please check in now.
November 0 Tango Romeo Papa Jim Lakewood.
Kilo Echo 0 Sierra Uniform Mike Jonathan Lakewood, no traffic.
Kilo Delta 0 Yankee Papa Kilo Mike in Littleton, no traffic.
Okay, we'll hold up there for just a moment. All right, Net Control would like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. WD0CIV Charles, or maybe Chuck, got you checked in. K0YES Ken, N0TRP Jim, KE0SUM Jonathan, and KD0YPK Mike. All checked in here. Thank you so much. Go ahead and open it up the whole alphabet, A through Z. If you'd like to check into the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net, please call now.
W0TX Repeater.
Whiskey 0 Alpha Tango Zulu Greg in Castle Bravo 4, Hotel Zulu Alpha, John in Lakewood.
All right, Net Control would like to thank and acknowledge the following check-ins: W0ATZ Greg and WB4HZA John. Thank you, too, for both checking in. One more time, we'll go ahead and take the whole alphabet. If you'd like to check into the Denver Radio Club net just for the count or with traffic or questions, please call now.
Kilo Echo 0, Yankee Uniform, KE0YYU, Jeff and Evans, for the count.
All right, Net Control, I'd like to thank and acknowledge the following check-in: KE0YYU Jeff. Thanks for checking in. There'll be a few more opportunities throughout the net to check in. At this time, we'll go ahead and throw it over to Fred, AA0JK. Fred, the net is yours.
A0JK, good evening, everyone. Just wanted to point out that this weekend, the 8th and the 9th, will be the 2020 American Radio Relay League Convention QSO Virtual Ham Expo. Now, this is going to be a new one. Going to have a convention here like the format that we're using here tonight. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all turns out. Go to the ARRL webpage and click on the banner there for the QSO Today Virtual Ham Expo, and log in, and you will receive personal credentials for entering the expo. You'll get an email and give you all the directions there of how to check in and what all is going to be made available. You'll have a exhibit hall format at the very beginning that you'll want to go into, and it'll give a breakdown of all the exhibits, the exhibitors, speakers, and you can kind of lay your plans there as to what you want to participate in. There's going to be over 21,000 people have already logged in. So this is going to be interesting, this new format. Okay, another item here. The Patriots VE team is going to be testing on September 27th. So those of you who are going to be wanting to get the technician license or upgrading to the next level, put that on your calendar as a possible opportunity there to get that test taken and your upgrade. And let's see, you can, let's see, hamstudy.org/sessions. W0 Baker Charlie Tango is overseeing that, and that's hamstudy.org/sessions, and that'll kind of give you the opportunity there to get checked in for that. You will need to make previous arrangements there with them to attend that group for testing. And let's see, one other item here that I wanted to touch on. Last week we were talking about interference there coming from a local broadcast station, and I found a bunch of these ferrite core chokes that are real handy for filtering some of that out. All of your lines, your power line, ground line, all your lines coming into the back of your radio act as antennas and let that broadcast RF into your radio. So you want to filter that out. And these little ferrite cores just snap on to your power line cord and help filter that out. And you want to keep them as close to the receiver or your radio as possible because those lines act as antennas, and you want to break that up as much as possible. And you can find some of these at All Electronics, ALL Electronics. You'll want to do a search on, and you'll get their catalog page will come up, and on the left-hand side, scroll down to Ferrite core / chokes, and you'll find the listing there for those and the availability. I purchased several of those here just day before yesterday and waiting for them to arrive in the mail. And let's see, was there anything else? I think I have pretty much got it covered for the moment. So, back to net control, AA0JK.
All right, AA0JK, this is K1DBC. All good information there, absolutely. Yeah, bringing back up what we had spoken about last week about RF chokes and preventing RFI from our devices. So very cool on that. Yeah, Patriot VE team on hamstudy.org. You can find Patriot VE sessions, testing sessions going on there. Yeah, very, very good information there. And then, yeah, absolutely this weekend, the QSO today, hamexpo.com for more info. Coming up this weekend, August 8th and 9th, all online. So more info on that on their website, QSO today, hamexpo.com as well. All right, anybody have any questions about what we've spoken so far about? Anybody have any questions or anything they'd like to bring up in regards to what we've spoken about so far this evening? Please call now.
Question for Fred.
Yeah, K0SUM. Jonathan, go ahead.
Fred, with for ferrite core, so I always was taught you needed to do a wind, at least one wind before you clamp them on. Are they efficient if you don't do the wind? K0SUM back in that.
Kind of depends upon the size of your ferrite core. If you can run a couple, a wind or two through it, that's even better yet. Kind of depends upon the size of your ferrite. These in particular that I was talking about are snap-ons, and dependent upon the size of the line that you're going to be placing this on will determine whether or not you'll be able to get another extra wind or two. But it's advantageous if you can get another wind or two in them, if you can get the larger ones. But I believe these are and if one of them doesn't work, you just add another one and another one to try to break up that RF that's getting in on your power line or ground line or any wires coming into your radio that are acting as antennas and collecting that RF and choke them out. AA0JK.
All right, sounds good. For thanks for the follow-up there, Fred, on the windings. Yeah, potentially, if you can, yeah, absolutely. Any other follow-up from Jonathan or anyone else? Please call now. Okay, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. Let's see. The next person that they indicated they had traffic was Mark, K0EHR, Mark, with traffic. Net is yours. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jerome. Appreciate it. So I'm going to try not to make this too complicated, but I have a question. Fred, you might know the answer to this or someone else. But so as you might recall, I've gotten an HS in about the last month. My first antenna is an end-fed, like a random wire antenna. And it's working moderately well. Just have it running across the top of my roof. But, you know, I want to increase my performance, and, you know, especially so I can do some s.t.e.m stuff and maybe improve my FTD performance and so on. So I'm looking at doing a dipole. I've got a bunch of big trees on my lot, so I've got an advantage there. I'm looking at growing one on the top of at least a couple of my trees. And so here's the question. Looking at off-center fed dipoles, sometimes called window antennas. And it seems that there's kind of a classic way of doing one of these where, and the idea is a dipole, that the feed point comes in about a third of the way of the total length of the dipole on one side and then two-thirds on the other side. And the advantage of doing that is that you get multi-band performance without having to use, you know, exotic ways like traps and things like that. So I like that idea a lot. I've been talking to a few people who have really good luck with those types of antennas. Now I came across a variation of that. Here's my real question. And they're calling it the Carolina window. What that is basically you run your feed line up to a choke balance, a one-to-one balance, and then you run another like 20 foot or so on, another piece of coax up to a 4-to-1 balance, and that goes out into your dipole. And apparently what that does is it provides you with a vertical radiator in addition to the horizontal radiators that are on the dipole. And I've seen some graphs and stuff. It looks really attractive. So I'm just wondering if anybody out there has any experience, A, with a normal off-center fed and or with one of these Carolina off-center fed antennas. Back to that.
AA0JK.
Yeah, AA0JK. Fred, go ahead.
Yeah, it's all a matter of the dollar sign. Which one is less expensive? You can experiment with the two, but the less complications, the better. With your strictly your off-center dipoles, you'll be using the, I believe, depending upon the length of the elements. Right now, I'm just going to say a 4-to-1 balance. And it depends upon the length of that ground radio, and just a matter of personal preference. And I really doubt seriously that you'll see a whole lot of difference there between the two. I think both will perform quite well for you. AA0JK.
All right, thanks for the follow-up there, Fred. AA0JK, this is K1DBC. Hopefully that somewhat kind of answered your question there, Mark. I wonder if you have any other follow-up on that. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's helpful. Yeah, and I think you're right. You know, I mean, and really the cost of it, especially if you pull the parts together yourself, you know, it's just wire and the balance. And, you know, so you're looking at maybe $150 plus the wire. So, and that's for 2 balance, you know, maybe $100 if you just get the one. It seems like the 4-to-1 balance, the one that goes out to the dipole, is the more expensive of the two. But anyway, that helps a lot. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to go that way. I got started by, you know, I made a contact with a guy over at FTA in New Zealand, and he exclusively uses one of these Carolina windows. He gets all over the world on 100 watts pretty easily. So that's key there to be able to get all the issues for us. So anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate the feedback, and keep you guys posted. D0EHR, back to net.
HJV.
All right, sounds good there, Mark. HJV, go ahead.
That was Tom K6HJV. Fancy you brought up that. As soon as you described it, I knew exactly what you were talking about. That was one of the first wire antennas I had way back in the ancient times. The only thing is that the one that I put together, I used ladder line, 300 ohm ladder line coming down from the antenna itself and into a balun, 4-to-1 balun, and that worked out real great for me. I was running a Viking Ranger with 75 watts on 40 meters to give you a little background, but it worked real well. But I went ahead and used the 300 ohm ladder line to come down from the antenna to the balun. Back to you, Jerome.
All right, sounds good, Tom, K6HEV. This is K1DBC. Thanks for the follow-up there as well. Good topic here. Antenna building, antenna theory, and all this stuff is a lot of fun. So yeah, good luck with that, and hopefully you'll get something good out of that. All right, anyone else on the topic we've talked about here so far? Antenna building, or the Carolina Windom, or off-center fed dipoles, or anything else we've brought up so far on the net, please call now.
Question, s.t.e.m.
Yeah, Jonathan, KE0SUM, go ahead.
It's kind of, I love antennas. I'm new to this, so they're fascinating. But Tom, why do you use 300 ohm instead of 450 ohm, which I think is more standard? As far as I know in this day and age, KE0SUM back in it.
I'll take it, Jerome. Yeah, the reason I use the 300 ohm is that's out of one of the original ARRL handbooks, and they recommended use of 300 ohm. And although I had the TV 300 ohm, my dad's store, I went ahead and invested in the ladder line, and that worked out real well for me. I hope that answers it for you, Jonathan.
Well, sort of. I was just curious if there's a lot of difference in loss or propagation between the two antennas, the 300 and the 450. KE0SUM.
I don't know. I only read the 300 ohm.
All right, good questions here. This is K1DBC Net Control. I don't have an answer to that, but it looks like it is. It's been brought up before. If you search ladder line in 300 and 400, there's a few topics about it, possibly discussing the pros and cons of both and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, I guess real quick here, it just says the big problem with 300 ohm stuff is the conductors are really small. This makes connections really critical. It's so small that you can't even think about nicking a conductor. They must be perfect. So that's just one comment in here that I'm reading on that. Anyone else on this topic or anything else we brought up so far, please call now.
W0TX repeater. EHR comment.
Yeah, K0EHR. Mark, go ahead.
Thanks, Jerome. I just wanted to mention, as I mentioned, I've been doing some research into this. I'll send you the links to some really interesting articles on the Windom antenna, which, by the way, dates way back, like the 1920s, when it was originally invented by Windom, that's his last name. And also there's different variations. And one of the things that really intrigues me, by the way, about this Carolina variation is because you have the vertical radiator, it gives you supposedly really drastically improved low angle radiation and that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'll send you those links in case anybody else is interested. K0EHR. Thanks.
All right, perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sounds like a lot of fans of that antenna. Yeah, absolutely. Send those over, and we can pass them out, and people can check them out. Thank you so much.
Question, DOK?
Yeah, DOK. Rich, go ahead.
Yeah, change
subject a little bit. I was just wondering if anybody on the net happens to know, there's a net or a group that I think they meet once a week just like this, and they rebroadcast their EORL, I don't know, notes or whatever they put out weekly. Does anybody know what net that is or when it meets? WZ60, okay.
WD6D, okay, this is K1DBC. I think I do. I think it's Sunday nights or Mondays. And it's on one of the net listings we have here. Let me see if I can dig that up here real quick for you. I think it might actually be the RMR Weekly On Air Net, potentially. Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. If you get to you can go to their website, rmrl.org, for more info. I think it's that one. I know I've heard a net on Sundays or Mondays that they will rebroadcast that, but I forget which net that is specifically.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I'll look for it. And just curious, I'm using a new mic. Does it sound okay? All that stuff, gain and all that. I'm not overdriving it or anything.
I wish I had some of the terminology and definitions of some of the words to describe these things. It sounds maybe a little tinny, potentially. It's definitely readable, but I can't really describe the quality of it. It's good quality, but it's there's some tinniness, I guess, to it potentially. I guess we can describe it that way.
Okay, does this change anything? JK.
Not for me, at least. A0 JK, Fred, go ahead.
Yeah, it sounds like it's overdriving it there just a bit. Might pull it back a little bit away from your mouth there and see if that improves it. But sounds like it's you're overloading it just a bit. Maybe the gain is a little too high.
Okay, drop the gain on it a little bit. Is this any better?
Yes, it is.
All right, thank you very much. Whiskey Delta 6 Delta Oscar Kilo.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, it definitely does sound better. Yeah, good troubleshooting there, Fred. Okay, at this time, I'll go ahead and take any other check-ins to the net. My name is Daron. My call sign is K1DBC, and I'm net control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. Let me bring the script up here that I lost it. If you've just tuned in, this is an on-air meeting. The Denver Radio Club is an on-air meeting for amateurs seeking help, and Elmers giving their time to mentor and help us. Everyone is welcome to join in. If there's anyone who wishes to check in at this time, please do so with your call sign using I2 Phonetics, your name, and state if you have traffic or questions for the net. Please call now.
Foxtrot 0, Alpha, Papa, Victor, Drew, Aurora. No comments, no traffic.
All right, Drew, I thought I heard your call sign, but I can't be... Oh, I think that was it. Yeah, okay. KF0APV, true. I got you checked in. All right, anyone else who wishes to check in at this time, please call now.
Yeah, question.
Yeah, go ahead with the question.
Yeah, you mentioned RMRs. That's a Rocky Mountain Radio League meets on 8:30 on Monday night.
Yeah, that's correct. Rocky Mountain Radio League. they meet. Their meeting is what did I say here? I think it was. Yeah, but that was the Rocky Mountain Radio League. Yep. You can find more info on their website, rmrl.org.
All right, thank you very much. WD60, okay.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. I don't see anybody else indicated they have traffic questions for the net, but we have plenty of time here. I'll throw it out to the net. Does anybody have any traffic comments, questions, anything you'd like to bring up for the net? Please call now.
K0YYU.
Yeah, KE0YYU, Jeff, go ahead.
What is the farthest anybody's ever made a contact here on the Front Range on 2 meters?
That's a great question. I know that are you talking about simplex or through repeater?
Well, I'd have to go with simplex because you can get some, depending on your rig, you can get some international stuff on repeaters.
W0TX repeater.
Good point, absolutely. Yeah, pure RF, simplex, radio to radio. I'd imagine if you're out probably where the repeaters are at least, you'll probably have great coverage because you have incredible line of sight to a lot of places. I don't know specifically. Anybody have any comments on that? Local RF propagation for 2 meter simplex. What's kind of the furthest contact you'd see and expect within the metro region?
LAI.
Yeah, K0 LAI. Go ahead.
This is K0 LAI. One weekend we went up in the foothills in one of the state parks, and we set up a small 2 meter beam that we could rotate by hand, and we got on single sideband 2 meter, and we were making contacts with a guy in the panhandle of Nebraska, and that was between Golden and Boulder, where we were up in the hills doing that.
That's a pretty long contact over 2 meters for sure. Wow, yeah, that's around 330 miles, give or take. Wow, that's a pretty large contact. I know there's been some things in the news about 2 meter contacts, not necessarily with here in Colorado, but I know there's some very long contacts. I'll try to dig those up here. But anyone else on that while we're talking? Anybody have any good 2 meter or 2 meter or 70 centimeter, I guess, propagation stories you'd like to talk about? Go ahead.
LAI again.
Yeah, K0 LAI, go ahead.
And I do remember think there, if I remember right, we looked it up and figured out that there was some probably tropospheric ducting that was going on, but we were able to pick up somebody around Lexington, Nebraska, picked up their APRS signal on APRS. So, and that was on FM, and I don't know how many watts they had, but picked it up. And it was, the coordinates and everything were correct. And when we went and checked on it, it was a valid data point that we picked up. So that's another amazing one, K0LEI back to net. KPS comment.
Yeah, LAI. I bet with just the right equipment, you can definitely do quite a lot there. KPS with the comment. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I've noticed where I think it's WG0AT does QRP from a lot of the SOTA activations, and he's on 5 watts, and I think he's hit Kansas, you know, from like the Pikes Peak region. So it all depends on altitude and how much power you're operating. K0 KPS, back to that.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. Those are two key. Those are key factors. Absolutely. Yeah, your power and all your equipment. Absolutely. Thanks there for that follow up there. Yeah, I was just looking up. There was a 2-meter transatlantic contact reported in about a year ago, just over a year ago now, using FT8 on 144.174 megahertz. Excuse me, and that made it nearly 2,400 miles from Cape Verde Islands. What was the other side of it here? This was Guadalupe. Guadalupe was 50 watts, basic vertical. This was another contact 3,900 kilometers away. So it's pretty crazy over that band there. I'll throw it back to who had asked that question, or if any other follow up on that. Go ahead.
I'll expand on that if I may. How about from your base station on 2 meters at your house or the shack to the farthest repeater here on the Front Range? Any idea what you can hit that way?
That is a good question. What can you do? What can you reach through PRF and then extend via repeater? That's a great question. I'll throw it out. Anybody have? What's the furthest repeater that you believe you've been able to key up and make contacts over, or at least speak over?
LAI.
Yeah, K0LAI. Larry, go ahead.
I can hit from my house the Colorado Springs repeaters very easily, and I'm able to, people I know down in Colorado Springs, in fact, I can get on their nets, and I can, from my roof, I can see the top of Pikes Peak, and of course, those repeaters are on Cheyenne Mountain, which is just in front of it to the side. So I assume I'm getting to them okay, and they always say that they can read me just fine. So I can get from here to Pikes Peak. So that's, I don't know, 60-something miles, I think. But it's clear. There's, it's high elevation and stuff. K0LEI back to net.
All right, thanks there, Larry. K0LAI. This is K1DBC. Yeah, I mean, I've really just been on the DRC repeaters mostly, and some others. I'd have to bring up my. I've refined my CSV file that I use for my FT857, and I've programmed in, and I believe I've been able to hit all the repeaters that I have programmed into it. So I'll have to see what the furthest one is. Great question though. Anyone else on that topic or anything else on that? Please call now.
Zulu Alpha.
Yeah, WB4 HCA. John, go ahead.
Yeah, on that topic, I've been trying to hit the repeater in Bailey, and I'm running 50 watts on an antenna on the roof, and I seem to be getting a lot of multipath. I'm wondering if maybe Fred or somebody else would think that would more power help, or is it just a matter of the fact that there's not really the line of sight going there, and I'm just probably bouncing off the canyon walls on the way up there. Over.
JK.
Yeah, AA0JK, go ahead on that.
AA0JK, did you say that you're using a repeater, or are you trying to go simplex?
W0TX repeater.
Fred, I'm sorry you broke up. I didn't get any of that. WB4HCA.
Okay, W4HCA, AA0JK, returning. Trying to contact Bailey. Did you say you were trying to do that simplex or using a repeater?
I'm trying to hit the Bailey repeater. I think it's at 146. I can't remember the frequency now, but trying to hit their repeater from here.
Okay. That's going to be a matter of whether or not you've got direct line sight of that repeater. It's going to be depend upon your position, and for something like that, it might be advantageous to have a 2-meter beam antenna, but kind of have to determine what's between you and that repeater. If you don't have a direct line of sight, you're probably going to have a bit of an issue. Of course, then again, having some power can sometimes get around that to some extent, but then there's a limit to how much power we can pump down the coax, so to speak. AA0JK.
Roger on that. Appreciate it, Fred. WB4HCA.
We've spoken about so far this evening. Please call now.
KB0VQP.
Yeah, VQP, go ahead.
Yeah, you're talking about repeaters. This minister friend of mine from Deanna, he's going to be driving to Colorado Springs. This is like this coming Sunday, and so during the week of the time he's going to be in Colorado Springs, Karis Bible College, he's visiting them, Woodland Park, and he'll be staying in Colorado Springs Hotel. If I wanted to hit any of the repeaters down there, would any of the ones in this area I have programmed here work there, or am I going to be dealing with totally new ones to put in my phone, in my, HT of it?
This is K1DBC Net Control. Just quickly looking at just repeaterbook.com at the Colorado Springs repeaters. There potentially might be an overlaps with some of the 2-meter, 70-centimeter frequencies potentially. I don't know if they would allow that or if that's far enough away. But you may potentially get away with finding one that works. But it looks like there's a few, and they just have the normal offsets and tones and things like that. but I haven't done too much traveling between Denver and Colorado Springs and to know enough how well your current existing settings would work. Anyone else, though, on that, please call now.
TRP.
Yeah, TRP, go ahead.
Guidance or TRP here. One alternative for that too might be using the Colorado connection because we have the repeater that you get from here in Metro area and also the repeater in Colorado Springs. It's tied together along with a lot of others around the state. In zero TRP.
All right, thanks for the info there. Yeah, Colorado Connection, I think, is what you had mentioned. Repeater, you can find them on colcon.org, colcon.org, for their repeater info on that.
LAI.
Yeah, K0LAI. Larry, go ahead.
Yeah, I second the Colorado connection. That'll work. And if you have a DMR radio, you certainly can use the Rocky Mountain ham infrastructure, and you can be up here, hit one of the DMR repeaters here, and talk to someone down there. I've done that with my wife, and when I was down in Colorado Springs for a trip, and she was up here, and we were able to talk to each other just fine over handhelds. Not a problem. K0LAI back to net.
All right, yeah, another great option there, rmham.org on in their DMR repeater network. Very, very cool.
Hey, CIV here.
Yeah, WD0 CIV, go ahead.
Also, you could try Fusion, or what else do they call it? Oh well, they got different names for it. But anyway, it's a Yaesu thing, Wires X, Fusion. Anyway, you know all the other names. I don't. Anyway, I'm gonna say hi, Fred. Anyway, back to net control. Howdy, howdy.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, absolutely. Another option there is DMR, as always. Yeah, you got plenty of option, and DMR is definitely, it is somewhat internet-based, but definitely it provides you the options to kind of roam a little bit easier and not have to futz around with that stuff as much, I guess. But yeah, great options. Yeah, System Fusion, C4FM, DMR Brandmeister, plenty of options out there. Okay, great net so far this evening. Thank you guys all for being here. We are nearing the end of it, but not a hard deadline here. So I'll throw it back out to the net. Anyone else have any questions, comments, check-ins, or anything else for the net? Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. I have a few things I can pass, but I'll throw it out to the net once more. Anyone else have any other comments, questions, or anything for the net you'd like to pass? Please call now.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead with the question.
Did we have a VQP check-in, Victor, Quebec, Papa, or are my ears not tuned? Did not check in, just jumped in with a question.
KB0TX repeater.
KB0VQP.
Okay, Jerome, are you picking him up a little bit better? I got a lot of static here.
I think we've had him once before. I keep hearing something, and I apologize. If you want to try one more time, I think I can try to get you. Sorry about that.
Go ahead, Tim. One more time, please.
I got in a different position. You guys told me to do that one time before. Kilo, Bravo, 0, Victor, Quebec, Papa, KB0VQP.
Oh, much improved, much improved. that worked. Thank you, Tim.
Okay, I got you that time as well. And yeah, if you're looking on the ULS website, definitely make sure you're searching for the right thing there because it won't come up otherwise. So, gotcha. Yeah, much better that time. KB0VQP. Tim, got you checked in. Thanks for your comments as well. All right. With that, yeah, I'll go ahead and ask for any other further check-ins. Anyone else? Any other check-ins for the net? Any last-minute check-ins just for the count or anything else? Please call now.
LAI with comment.
Yeah, K0LAI. Larry, go ahead.
I wanted to follow up on how we can get from Denver to Colorado Springs. We forgot to mention a couple obvious ones that have been around for a while. IRLP, the Internet Linking Project, Internet Radio Linking Project, and also Echolink. And Echolink even runs on an Android or an iPhone. And we have the DRC has an Echolink repeater. The 449.350 on SQA is an Echolink repeater. So there are ways that you could actually connect with a regular radio and connect up with Colorado Springs and talk down there. So just so I mentioned that, we sometimes forget about the older technologies that still work. K0LEI back to net.
KB0VQP. I maybe didn't word the question correctly. I'm going to be driving down there to Colorado Springs to see him at his hotel there when he's visiting. And I was wondering if any of the settings I have in my HT would work down there in Colorado Springs. But I'll have my repeater directory with me, of course, and be able to try ones that there. I have a dual band, but it's a Yaesu 65, but it's not, it's not digital.
Well, that's a horse of another color. I would pre-program the radio before you go down there, if you can, so it's a little bit easier. Sometimes it's kind of frustrating trying to program things on the go, so I would do some prep work. But yeah, it should work. I've got Colorado Springs repeaters in my handhelds, and they work just fine.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Hopefully that kind of semi-answered your question there a little bit. Yeah, I mean, as we were kind of alluding a little bit, there might be some overlaps. Potentially there might be a repeater that's set up exactly in the same way where you won't have to change anything, but you probably won't get that lucky. I think it's they're intentionally moving them away from each other in the same frequencies intentionally. But there might be some overlaps, but I don't know on that specifically. Okay, anyone else on that or any other follow-up on that? Go ahead. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. I can go ahead and pass a couple things that I have, and I'll throw it back out to the net, and we'll probably close things up here in just a few minutes. All right, news from Reddit /r/amateur radio. Somebody, title of it is "Unplugging Your coax During a Thunderstorm is Not Enough." So I know we've talked about this, and it's through, I think, air gap, I think is the terminology. I'm not too sure. It can still destroy and harm things. So just looking at some photos of a disconnected coax that's burnt, and then lots of different electronic equipment with burns and burn marks and things like that. So yeah, just interesting, and a lot of things to read about and understand lightning, because it is definitely very, very powerful, and it's really good to understand how to mitigate issues with that. Over on this probably was on hackaday.com, but let me see if he has a call sign here. I'm looking at a ham radio universal prototyping system. This is by Rob. I'll have to get his name and call sign here. You know, this is the second time I'm looking at this, and it's I don't know exactly. It's a prototyping system basically, and it's instead of having to do manually, we're looking at a perf board here and a bunch of little things, connectors it can connect to, and yeah, I wish I could better describe this here, but let's see, just a brief paragraph on this. Well, I was trying to find a good description of this. You really kind of have to understand what you're looking at here, so I'll try to throw this in the in our links, and you could check that out. So if you have any need or want for tinkering and prototyping, this is an option here for you. It's let's see, it has 2 power rails, 12 volt and 5 volt, a bunch of bypass caps, DC barrel jack for power input, and 5 volt regulator. Let's see. Baseboard, they have 2 rows of dual 10-pin headers for plug-in modules to slot in and out. Each has 2 power, 2 ground, and 6 unused for moving signals between the plug-in board for neat and tidy wiring. Prototype modules can connect to the baseboard with right angle header pins, either dual or single, can be used. Each board can be locked together using brass standoffs, makes for modular system, plug and play. So this is open source, and so if you have any need for this and want, there's a lot of cool things here. You can find that on robs-blog-.net. Robs, plural, -blog.net. We'd been speaking about Arduinos recently. There's a much smaller Arduino compatible type chip. It's called the ESP32, and it's been around for several years under different variations, ESP8266, I think. It's dual core, and it has Wi-Fi built in, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Bluetooth low energy, and analog input. So, and it's about $10, and you can get them at Micro Center as well. So I just picked one up recently, and it's basically just like an Arduino. Has all the has a bunch of breakout pins for all your needs. You could attach it right to a breadboard itself. So just another part of just tinkering around. Just really cool things out there to play around with. See over on rtlsdr.com, -sdr.com. Always crazy looking stories and a lot of fun looking things. One of the earlier software-defined radios that was a transceiver, an earlier software-defined radio in general was a USRP, which comes in around $1,000, I think. So somebody's give it a tutorial here on how to set up a GSM base station with USRP and Dragon OS. So if you want to set up your own GSM base station to have a GSM phone calls, you can do that. Looking at article or crowdfunding for open source RF pen testing tool. It has a sub 1 gigahertz radio capable of doing things like emulating garage door, transmitting digital signals like ASK, FSK, GFSK, and this is at 315, 433, and 866 megahertz. So it is going to be a pretty neat device here for around $120. If you have any interest in kind of hacking with things and doing RF hacking and whatnot, you look for it on Kickstarter.com. It's called Flipper Zero. Another crowdsourced board, an SDR development board for designing custom Internet of Things protocols and gateways. This is the called Iot Sdr, and like you can get in around $300 to $400, and it is providing a platform that allows SDR developers and enthusiasts to design innovative algorithms and cutting-edge products. While wideband SDRs are more versatile, narrowband transceivers perform better for many IoT-related products applications. So let's see here. A 2-channel transceiver chip capable of tuning to all major IoT frequencies, a 13-bit analog digital converter. You can use for GNS, or like GPS, GLONASS, GPS receptions, hardware computing. So plenty of things if you ever want to get into hardware hacking. Guess one of the last things here is analyzing lightning discharges with an RTL SDR and the SAGE network. It's a project working on creating geographically distributed sensor systems, including cameras, microphones, weather, and air quality stations in order to benefit the work of scientists. So you could probably hook up an SDR to your computer and then send in and feed the data to them, and they can kind of compute it or collate it and bring it all together, and makes it a lot easier for people to see lightning discharges around the world. All right, I think that's just about all that I have. I'll throw it out to the net. If anybody has any questions, comments, or anything we've spoken about, or anything else brought up on the net, or any other check-ins, please call now. All right, one more time. This is K1DBC, Daron, Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. Are there any other further comments, questions, or anything else for the net you'd like to bring up? Please call now. One last thing here I forgot. We had recently spoken about Garmin. They had all their files had some sort of crypto locker or some sort of ransomware on it, and it's come out that they did pay for the ransom. They did pay it. What was that? I forget the number exactly, but it was in the millions. And as mentioned, yeah, they are GPS and GIS, and they're very, very important still. And a lot of aviation industry still relies on Garmin and for their services. So that was quite an issue there, and kind of radio related, but that's what happens. You got to really be careful and whatnot. So they did pay that. So and we're able to unlock and decrypt their files, luckily. Oh, 10 million.
Comment?
Yeah, with the comment, go ahead.
Yeah, it's WD0CIB again. I was thinking, probably, I don't know how many people are looking for equipment, but might let them know that DRC's got swap fest stuff that's for sale, trading post, I guess you would call it, on their website, and go out and look into that to see if they, because once in a while they get some stuff. I know I've got some really good stuff off there. Anyway, back in control.
Yeah, absolutely. Great point, especially we didn't have Hamfest this year. W0tx.org, and you can find the trading post link. And there's recently posted items in there. Looks like Kenwood TS590S all mode 100 watt HF transceiver, Askin 700. A big post here with lots of stuff here. So yeah, great comment on that. Good question or good follow up on that. Absolutely. Okay, any other last minute comments, questions, or any check-ins for the net? Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. I have started to stream this to YouTube. This is the first time I've done it, so I'll go back and see how it sounds and looks. I will give you my YouTube channel if this actually works. I'll make sure. Yeah, it is WEREGR8, or if you search for my name on YouTube, you can find my channel. Again, that is WERE, Whiskey, Edward, Romeo, Edward, Golf, Romeo 8. Not able to change that. Or if you search for my name, you can find the live stream. So that is going to wrap things up here. I'll probably might start migrating over to YouTube. We'll see, and move away potentially from Google Meet. But for now, we'll keep it as it is until I find a streamlined option here. So with that, we'll go ahead and start to wrap things up. I'll go ahead and do one last call. Any other late check-ins for the net? Please call now. Okay, let's cover some club business. Next topic or next meeting is going to be on August 19th, 7 p.m. On Google Meet. If you head over to w0tx.org, you can find more info on that. Topic is going to be Hotspot Fusion Confusion, presented by Bill Buckwalter, W0SUN. trying to clear up some of the confusion about hotspots, why certain ones can't access Wires X networks, but can access Yaesu System Fusion FCS Fusion. So check that out. August 19th, there will be a Elmer session at 6 p.m., 6 to 6:45, and the link is on the main page here for how to join. Yeah, look out for that. Okay, at this point, we'll go ahead and start to wrap things up. This is K1DBC. Thank you all for joining us this evening. If you wish to contact us for topic suggestions to set a date to act as net control operator or guest Elmer, you may do so at any time via email at drclearningnet@gmail.com. You're also more than welcome to jump in at any time, really, and I'm more than happy to walk you through a net. So anytime anybody wants to do a net, I'm more than happy to try to help you through that, absolutely. This evening, we had a total of 18 check-ins. I'd like to thank everyone who checked in. We especially appreciate and thank our Elmers. Thanks to the Denver Radio Club for allowing us to use the repeaters for this net. We invite you to join us on the third Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m. Excuse me. At 6 p.m. for an Elmer session prior to the regularly scheduled Denver Radio Club meeting at 7 p.m. In person, we would be at the Jefferson County Administration Courts building, but again, as mentioned, due to COVID and social distancing, we are meeting online. So find more info on that at w0tx.org. Everyone is welcome to that. Please join us next week at 19:30 hours, 7:30 p.m. for the next Denver Radio Club Learning Net. We'll go ahead and close the net at 8:50, 2050 local PM Mountain Time. This is Daron, K1DBC, closing the DRC Learning Net and returning the frequency to general use. Thank you.
Thanks, Daron. 73, everyone. AA0JK.
All right, all stations please stand by while the repeaters are placed in normal mode. All right, yeah, absolutely. 7-3, Fred. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Hope to see you all next week, and feel free to join us on Google Hangouts and potentially YouTube and see the behind the scenes here. Also, this is archived on YouTube, so if you visit that link again, or if you search my name on YouTube or WEREGR8, you can find the video from this evening. It should be up there momentarily. So 7-3 to all. I am clear. All right, thanks everyone for joining us on the Hangout here. And I'll go ahead and close things out.